Hi, my name is Matt Parmenter. I'm in Section 1 of Fundamentals of Physics through Full Sail University Online with George Stewart. For my video podcast, I'm going to be showing the experiment called the floating needle. It's a simple little experiment that shows the force of magnetism and also the surface tension in water. You'll need a couple things. One is a glass bowl filled with a little water. About 3/4 full is pretty good. You'll also need a sewing needle, as small as you can find, preferably, so that it will float easily. You'll need some sewing thread. You'll also need a little tape, and also, finally, a magnet. The shape of the magnet doesn't really matter. The book recommends a bar magnet, but any magnet will show the experiment. So the first thing you want to do, as I've done here already, is tape 2 pieces of thread to the side of the bowl. Now what this allows me to do is hold the other 2 ends of the thread so I can lower my needle into the water and keep it floating. What you want to do here to get your needle floating is you want to gently place the needle on the 2 pieces of thread right about in the middle. Then you want to gently lower your 2 pieces of thread so that you get your needle floating on the water. And the tricky part is just to get the 2 pieces of thread out from under the needle without submerging the needle, without breaking the surface tension, basically. Once you have your needle floating, then basically the needle floats because of the surface tension between the molecules in the water that create a bit of a skin on the surface of the water. Even if you have a needle which is a little more dense than the water, it'll float because those molecules are attracted to each other and keeping them bonded. Now, if you can see the needle in there, it's kind of just floating around by itself now. If I get the magnet close to it, it sinks right up, and then I can kind of drag it around. If I turn the magnet around, it'll stay in correlation to the magnet because the particles of iron in the needle are all lined up once they're in the magnetic field, and then they kind of just stick. It's like a little invisible force sticking to the magnet. So you can see I can just drag it around. I never have to touch it. It's just the actual field of the magnet that allows me to move it. So, simple little experiment, but it shows that the force of magnetism, though it is invisible, does affect anything with iron in it, which allows me to drag the needle around on the surface of the water. And the surface tension of the water keeps the sewing needle from going below the surface. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much.